I'm starting the video recording and then we'll start. Namaste everyone. Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Parma Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Sabha Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Nrsimha Parabrahmane Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Haravadana Parabrahmane Namaha, Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. So I had made up my mind not to do PowerPoints, but to make it easy on myself. But actually, to make it easy on myself, I'm doing PowerPoint because it's easier for me to talk with a PowerPoint. So I'll show you my PowerPoints. They're not perfect. They're not perfect, but I'm working on it. So it is coming back to HUA kind of lecture, but not so rigorous. But because in HUA, I used to create 20 PowerPoints. Now I only create 10 PowerPoints roughly, because 1 hour, in HUA I do 2 hours roughly. Now I do only 1 hour. It's easier on me this way. Let me show you my PowerPoint. Can you see my slide? Kena Upaniṣad, lecture 4.
Yes.
Okay. So we are now starting the actual mantras. Till now, what we did was only the introduction given by Śaṅkarācārya on the Kena Upaniṣad. Now the actual mantras of Kena Upaniṣad starts. This is the verse. Kena iṣitam patati preṣitam manaha. Kena prāṇa pratamam praiti yuktaha. Kena iṣitam vācamimam vadanti. Śrotram ka udevo yunakti. The meaning seems to be simple, right? What it says is, who is the person who makes my mind reach the object or perceives the object? Who makes my mind go towards the object and who directs my mind? That seems to be the simple meaning here. Who commands the chief prana move, the chief pratama pranaha? We have to take it in this way according to Śaṅkarācārya. The first, most important thing is the breath, the prana. Who makes my prana work? So the prana is moving, right? We are breathing. So who makes me breathe in a way? Kena iṣitam vācamimam vadanti. Who desires that all of us speak? How does the speech occur? Who is making us speak? Śrotram ka udevo yunakti. That means who makes our eyes and ears work? Who puts together the whole the complex of this eye and ears, and the whole system seems to work, and it prompts. Who is the prompter here? That is the general meaning given by the original Upanishad. What we're going to do is think about how Śaṅkarācārya understands these sentences. So far, everything is okay? Everything is clear?
Krishna,
okay. Now we'll go to the next.
Hello. Isn't there a
Yeah.
Śānti Mantra for this Upanishad?
Yes, there is. See, for some reason, Śaṅkarācārya has not commented on the Śānti Mantra. And I just took it as the Śaṅkara Bhāṣya moves along. I didn't start with the Śānti Mantra.
Yeah, it's actually, I think I have read it some time back. It's a very nice mantra with nice meaning also.
No, there is. I already looked at Śānti Mantra. I can show you the Śānti Mantra in Kannada, because in the original Upanishad, I don't even think in the original Upanishad, in the Śaṅkara Bhāṣya, it doesn't quote the Śānti Mantra. That's what I feel. And for some reason, I also skipped it. And I see it in, we can check it, right? See, again, Śānti Mantra is not very straightforward. Not very straightforward. So it's not going to add too much of value right away at this point. Maybe, two different acharyas or three different acharyas will have different view on the Śānti Mantra. Because I don't have any Śaṅkara Bhāṣya directly, I'm just skipping it, that's all.
Can I say something here?
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a Kena Upaniṣad here in Sanskrit and Hindi, and Śānti Mantra is here. The Śānti Mantra actually talks about the same thing as this question the first question, which is raised here.
Yeah.
They are very much related to each other.
It's actually apyayanti mamangani, that is how it starts. Apyayantu mamangani, right?
Yes, that's right.
I can even show that to you in Kannada, but because I don't have a Sanskrit version here in front of me. So the thing is, don't worry about Śānti Mantra for now, Suresh. It's not important right now. Let us get into the Upanishad Bhāṣya itself. Eventually, maybe at the end of the session or sometime we'll pick up the Śānti Mantra. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
If Śaṅkarācārya had commented on it, I would have done it. I would have done it. Because now I feel not so necessary. Okay. Next. See, Śaṅkarācārya goes into a lot of details here. I'm just going to mention summary of what this means. In the beginning itself, Śaṅkarācārya says, what do you call? Just using logic, you will not understand truth. Ācāryaman Purusho Veda. You have to have the right teacher for you to understand Purusha or the real Brahman. Ācārya dhaiva vidita sadishtam prapaditi. Only through the right Ācārya, if somebody listens, that person gets the real answer. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. That's also in the Bhagavad Gita. It says to know this truth by prostrating to the great Ācārya, who is also a Tattvadarshi. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Serve that master. Pariprashnena, asking questions again and again if you don't understand. Upadekshantite jnanam, that those teachers will give you knowledge. Jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. Those jnanis actually have realized that Ātman, tattva. So finding the right Ācārya is crucial. We assume we have the right Ācārya through our lineages and we just follow. That's all. And ityadi shrutismriti niyamāccha kaśchid gurum brahmanishtam vidhibadu upetya pratyakatma vishayadanyatra sharanam. Here Śaṅkara Bhāṣya is pretty cool actually. I will come to that for a second. Just a second. Here, the first sentence here is pretty important. ityadi shruti smriti niyamacha kaschit gurum brahmanishtam vidivat upetya. So there are so many shrutis which validate and clearly dictate, prescribe that one should go get the right guru and go with vidhivat upetya. Follow the injunctions, follow the rules of how to meet a guru. What do you take to the guru? Offer something to the guru, something like that. Pratyekatma vishayad anyatra. There is this Atma, the inner Atma. Pratyekatma vishayat anyatra. Other than the Pratyekatma, there is no place I can go to. There is nothing in this universe I want. There is nothing in this universe that can satisfy me. If one has that clear outlook in life, that nothing else here is of value, such a person, sharanam apashyan abhayam. So the thing is, I cannot resort to anything else. Money will not get me. Yeah, what do you call it? Any other things here, wealth, children, spouses, and all those others, everything else, and also hereafter, like the heavens and other devatas or some, nobody can help. The only thing is I need to know this Pratyekatma, and that is eternal, nityam. It will not go away. It will always stay. Shivam, it is auspicious. Achalam, it cannot be disturbed. It is still. Ichanna paprachaiti kalpyate. A student has asked this question, and this is assumed. And the question asked is Kena iṣitam patati preṣitam manaha. This is the question asked. But the introduction Ācārya, Śaṅkarācārya gives is, it has to occur to the right student who has the right eligibility criteria. And he meets the right teacher who has the right qualifications to teach. So here, why is that there are two words here? Let me show you why there's some words about this two things. Here, Kena iṣitam patati preṣitam manaha. There is a preṣitam word here and Kena iṣitam word here. Iṣitam means willed by whom? By the desire of whom? Preṣitam is pushed or propelled. Preṣitam is sent by whom? So why there are two things here? Two words meaning approximately the same thing. Why it is used? For that, Śaṅkarācārya takes it. Look, the preṣitam, the intent here to indicate that a questioner generally says, normally what do they think? There is a desire, there's an action, and there's speech. All these things can motivate something to do something, can process something to do, can push, propel something to do something. Obviously, an ordinary person, a charvaka or a scientifically oriented person who doesn't believe in any consciousness or God or anything like that, what would that person think? Look, there is a body-mind complex here. There's my brain, my heart, and all this pumping together, keeping my body okay. That is what is already making the mind move and perceive objects. So why should I think of anything else? So what is the reason for this question? This guy is asking this question, the student, what is making my mind go towards the objects and perceive that? Pretty simple. You are a living person. You have a mind and you have brain and all these things right here. And all this combination will make your mind go and perceive objects. Like even a lion is hungry. Lion sees a prey somewhere, and suddenly, oh, that is my prey, that is my food, that is my lunch, that is my dinner. I got to go get. So the lion runs towards, focuses, and gets. Any animal does this. We see it all the time. Why is this person, this student, asking this question? So, see, if the answer to this question, that what makes the mind go perceive the object, if the answer is very simple as body, mind, intellect is what the answer is, then there is no need for the Shruti. You might as well know this in your science textbook or your any kind of book, or you go observe some animals and other things around, and you already know the answer. But the Shruti is saying, look, what is directly perceptible here, pratyaksha pramana, directly through our senses. This particular thing, which is the main thing, which is willing to do something, by the very presence of that pure thing, everything is working. But the reason why Shruti raises this question is Shruti has a different answer than what you think. Your answer would be, oh, I have this eye nerves here, the eyes go pick up, there is a camera kind of thing here, the image falls here. Everything is answered using pretty much insentient components. The question here is there a conscious principle behind everything? That is the idea here. So there is somebody other than the elements, this conglomerate of parts, which is making our mind work. That's the idea behind preṣitam and iṣitam. So he says iṣitam itself says that is a desire. So the very fact that there is this Brahman, this Ātman, by the very presence, this person, all these things happen. That's what is the intent of the question, and the answer will come later. Another thing Śaṅkarācārya brings about is, look, actions, desire, speech, all the things you are involved with today as a day-to-day life. What will you bring? They bring you experiences. What kind of experiences? Not long-lasting experiences, temporary experiences which pass away. But this Upanishad is not about temporary experiences here. We come, we are born, we grow up, we have a number of experiences, we think that something is giving me happiness. Eventually, after a few years, you think that those things really didn't give you any happiness. Then you go further and further and further and further. But you're looking for something permanent. You have not found it yet. So this is for a mature student who says that, is there something real, eternal? And is there something permanent happiness, permanent bliss? So the student is looking, and that is the intent behind this question. Or else it would be any, how does the camera work? How does this work? How does the brain cells work? How do these neurons work? These are all scientific questions. That is not the purpose behind this Upanishad. If mind itself is independent of seeking the objects and perceiving them, see, this is an option Śaṅkarācārya takes. So, there is no need for finding who is making your mind work. Mind itself does it. That is the nature of mind. Suppose that is the answer, right? If mind itself is independent, look at the word independent. So, if mind is independent of choosing the objects and then perceiving them and then making it available to this whole combination of the body, mind, intellect, and you enjoy what you get out of it. So if mind is independent, the mind would not choose to go after objects which can cause harm to each of us, right? Or harm to the whole body, mind, intellect complex. The mind would be very smart not to dwell on objects that can cause harm, and only dwell on objects that can cause permanent happiness. So somehow the mind is propelled, pushed to go after different things which can give us pleasure and pain, not pure pleasure. So it's not giving us happiness. So there is something which is forcing our mind to go, and irrespective of whether we get sorrow out of it or pleasure out of it, our minds are pushed to meet and work with the objects, know the objects. there should be a different entity that is guiding and propelling mind to perceive objects. Hence, mind itself is not independent of all these activities. Is this clear? Any questions so far?
There is a mention of Deva in the second line. Is there any comment on that?
A little bit later, Kaudevo, Śrotram, Kaudevo will come in a minute. Yeah, it will come in a minute. Okay, now. One second. Yeah. Kena Prāṇa Pratamam, Kena Prāṇa, here this is the, regarding the next sentence, right? What was the original? Hold on a second. This whole Sanskrit paragraph I explained in these two PowerPoints. This is the summary of these two PowerPoints. I didn't go into exactly the word to word. Here and there, it goes into Sanskrit grammar. Some of this grammar is not necessary for iṣitam. It prayogas to chandasaha, it says in this sentence. So iṣitam is generally used in Sanskrit, but this it prayoga or it is used because it's Vedika. Chandasa means it is because the Vedic Sanskrit is different from the ordinary Sanskrit. So special words are used in a different way. So all these Sanskrit issues I have not dealt with at this point. I want conceptual idea first. The Sanskrit, you can go do your own grammar PhD or something and eventually look at it and figure out what are the Sanskrit details of this particular Upanishad. Here, the second sentence is Kena Prāṇa Pratamam Praitiyuktaha Kena iṣitam Vācamimam Vadanti Śrotram Kaudevo. These are the second half of the first sentence. So initially, we only explained about the mind, then comes the prana, and then the rest. Let's see what happens. Here. So, Kena Prāṇa Prāṇaha Yuktaha Niyuktaha Prerita Sanne Praiti Gacchati Svavyaparam Prati. The prana or the breath seem to start the moment the child is born, the breathing occurs, and it continuously goes on and on and on. Who is guiding? Who is making this happen? And it's doing by its own. Savyaparam means the breathing, once it's set to motion, it does its job of continuously breathing. Pratama iti prana visheshanam syate tat purvakat sarvendriya pravrittinam. So initially prana is mentioned because all other senses take after the prana. That is the main force, power behind the pranas. So the prana is first questioned as what is behind the prana that makes it happen, that makes it work. Kena iṣitam vācamimam shabdalakshanam vadanti laukikaha. How do people speak? It seems like, people are there all over the world. They have different languages. When they're born, the child slowly picks up that mother tongue. And they communicate using speech. Who is behind this? Who is making all this happen? Tata chakshuhu śrotram sve sve vishaye kau devaha Nityo'nityānām yunakti. So the eyes and the ears are doing their job. Eyes are only for seeing. Eyes cannot hear. Ears are only for hearing. Ears cannot see. So each one is doing their job. Who is making it happen? Kau devaha. Who is the divine being? Nityo'nityānām yunakti. Nityo'nityānām means devaha here means the person who shines, makes it shine, in the sense that the eyes see an object and I perceive it. So there is some kind of a prakasha or shining of the object. Similarly, when the sounds are heard, I hear sounds. So there is a there is a knowledge of a new thing, right? That is known as Dhyotana. Dhyotana is shining. And Devaha here is not explained as a divine being or anything like that. Here, Dhyotana, that which makes something shine, something appear to knowledge. So here there is the Tau Devaha. Strictly speaking, the Devaha should be the entity Ātman here. But the thing is, there the word Deva is used only in the sense that, yeah, that which makes something shine. That's all. So this is the first verse, which is the question. And here follows the answer in the second verse. Śrotrasya Śrotram manaso mano yadvachoha vacham suprāṇasya prāṇah chakshushash chakshuh atimucya dhīrāh pretya asmallokād amrta bhavanti. The Upanishad doesn't waste any time. Within the second verse, at the end, it says, you will get immortality. How? What is this? The question was about who is the controller, who is the propeller, who is the person who makes things happen. But here, immediately says, Śrotrasya Śrotram. The simple meaning of this verse is, it is the ear of the ear. It is the mind of the mind. It is the speech of the speech. It is the prana of the prana, or the breath of the breath. It is the eye of the eye. Atimucya dhīrāha. Atimucya here is taken as giving up the wrong notions, giving up wrong knowledge. Dhīrāha, the intelligent ones. Pretya asmat lokad amrta bhavanti. They pretya asmat lokat means finally they give up their body here. They leave this body, go, but they will not come back to this cycle of births and deaths. They will attain immortality. That means the wise people know about that which is the cause of everything, that which is making everything work. And by knowing that, the wise people can escape the travails, the difficulties, the sorrows of this bound existence in the bodies of different kind, in these bodies of different kind. Is that clear? The initial meaning of this, the overview meaning of this verse, is it clear? Seems like okay. You can hear me, right? What is happening?
Yeah, we can.
Yes, we can.
You got to wake up and your response time should be faster. Okay, here, evam prishravate yogyaya aha guruhu. For the eligible qualified student, the guru who is also qualified tells this. Srunutat yat tvam prichasi, I will tell you what you asked for. Mana adikarana jatasya ko devaha svavishayam pratiprerayita katam va prerayati. You ask the question of who is the person who propels the mind to work. Śrotrasya Śrotram Shrunoti anena iti Śrotam. What is the ear does? Ear hears. Shabdasya Shravanam Pratikaranam Shabdhatika Vyanjanam Śrotram Indriyam. So the thing is, the ear hears sounds. Tasya Śrotram Saha Yastvaya Prashtaha. You ask Chakshushrotram Kaudevo Yunakti. You asked in the first sentence. Asau evam vishishtaha Śrotradini nivinte iti vaktavye. Nanu yetadananu rupam prativachanam Śrotrasya Śrotram iti. All the guru had to say, oh, you asked for the guy who is actually making the mind work, the prana work, the indriyas and the senses work and all. All I had to say, oh, here is Mr. Tom, and Tom is doing all this stuff. Here is Mr. Hari. Hari is doing this stuff. You can give some person, and he is doing it. You're looking for the guy who is doing all these things. So simple. He could have, the Upanishad could have said it, but it is giving you some kind of a riddle, puzzling answer. Śrotrasya Śrotram. It is the ear of the ear. It is the eye of the eye. It is the breath of the breath. And Śaṅkarācārya says this is not a mistake of the Upanishad. You think that his Upanishad should have simplified, but it is making it like complicated, and it's giving you a riddle which is not easily understandable as an answer to you. No, that's not the purpose of the Upanishad. The purpose is to be truthful to you. Why is Upanishad truthful here? Naisha doshaha tasya anyata vishesha anavagamat. That Brahman, the cause of everything, which is making everything happen, that Ātman, cannot be perceived in any other way. It does not have characteristics or attributes which are easily explicable, or which are explicable. It does not have any attributes at all, in a way. Let's see what, let's find out more. Yadihi Shrotra here. Yadihi Shrotradihi Shrotradi Vyapara Vyatiriktena Swavyaparena Vishishtaha Shrotradi Vyapara Vyatiriktena Swavyaparena Vishishtaha Shrotradi Niyokta Avagamyeta Datradi Prayoktravat Tadeva Mananupam Pratirvachanam Syat. So like data, datra, that means if giver or something, like if he gave me some money, he gave me this. This kind of usage we use in common, common usage. If यदि ही श्रोत्रादि व्यापार व्यतिरिक्तेन स्वव्यापारेण विशिष्टः श्रोत्रादि नियोक्ता अवगम्येत दात्रादि प्रयुक्तः तदेनं अनुरूपं प्रतिवचनं स्यात्. If there is somebody or somebody put together, some set of things, set of entities which can make this happen, which can make the ear work or something like that, so a different kind of answer would be suitable. Natu iha, here Śrotradīnām prayoktam svavyapara vishishtaha lavitradi vad avigamyate. Let me tell you, here there are some sentences which are complicated. I'll get back to my I'll stop share and get back to my Kannada view of it. Here it is easier for me. Sorry. Okay, just a second. Sorry for the delay. I'll share back the same thing. It's easier for me, I guess. Okay. Here, let me slideshow, make it slideshow. Okay. So the ears, um, see, the Sanskrit is a little bit complex here. I'll tell you in simple ways. See, a person who is using some kind of a stick or something, a person may be using a stick to do a pot or something. There is a very clear answer there. There is a potter, there is a stick, there are some materials he is using, some mud and things like that. There and some tools, and he can make a pot. There I can say, okay, pot is made by this guy. That is not the way the Shrotra is working. Ear is not working that way. Swavyapara vyatirikte Śrotrādi vyāpāra vyatiriktena swavyāpārena vishishtaha. So the thing is, ears are doing their particular work. That is, ears can do their particular work. Śrotrādi niyokta avagamyeta datrādi prayoktavate. So, but there is, see, in the case of a pot or something, there is a potter which is very clearly seen. If that is the case, then I can say, okay, Tom did it, Hari did it, Krishna did it, whoever did it. It's not the case. Tadidam ananurupam pratyavachanam syat natu iha Śrotradīnām prayuktam swavyāpāra vishishtaha lavitrādivat adhigamyate. Natviha Śrotradīnām prayuktam swavyāpāra vishishtaha lavitrādivat avagamyate. So even for example, suppose somebody says, how did this the field of paddy or wheat grow? Well, there was a guy with a sickle and things like that. He dug up the earth and then put the seeds and cut off all the weeds and things like that and created the field. So there is a tool and there's a personality which is doing it. There, it is okay to say that, oh, this is the person behind it. Śrotrādīnēmatu samhatānām vyāpārena ālochana sankalpa adhyavasāya lakṣanena phalavasāna lingena avagamyate asti hi Śrotrādirapi samhata yat prayojana prayuktaha Śrotrādi kalāpaha grahādipatiti samhatānām parārthatvad avagamyate Śrotrādīnām prayokta tasmād anurupameva idam vachanam Śrotrasya Śrotram iti. What this is saying is, what if we answer it, the ear complex with so many parts in it is sufficient to do the job of hearing? Just the complex of the ear, a lot of things together, put together, it hears. But you know one thing, the problem is the hearing actually occurs for another person. There is somebody who is a hearer. Because what is the value of hearing? That auditory information is used by somebody else. So this auditory information is for somebody else, not for the ear itself. Samhatānām parārthatvat avagamyate Śrotrādīnām prayokta tasmād anurupameva pratyavachanam Śrotrasya Śrotram iti. And also there seems to be somebody else who is making this happen. Hence, this question is, the answer is okay. The answer is not meant to be complex by making it, oh, the ear of the ear, eye of the eye, the breath of the breath. This is not a complex method. It's indicating that this is not an usual generic object and activity and results where you can find the doer, the subject. It's not possible here. That is why the Upanishad is giving it in a different way. enigmatic way of answer here. Now, kaha punaratra padartah Śrotrasya Śrotram ityadehe. Then what is this entity who is the ear of the ear or the eye of the eye? What is that entity? Nahyatra Śrotrasya Śrotra antarena artaha yatha prakashasya prakasha antarena. So he says, why do I need another ear? For the ear, ear is doing its job of hearing. I don't need a ear for the ear. I don't need a light for the light. Prakashasya prakashantarena. If I see a light, I see it. I don't need another light to shine. Oh, do I see a light? No, I don't need it. Naishadoshaha ayamatra padartaha śrotram tavat svavishaya vyanjana samartham drishtam tattu svavishaya vyanjana samartham śrotrasya chaitanye hi atmajyotishi nitye asamhate sarvantare sati bhavati na asati iti. Now Śaṅkarācārya is answering, look, the ears don't operate in isolation, that, oh, the ears do their job of getting the auditory impulses and sending it to your mind, brain, and everything. They are distributed to all parts of your body. So, oh, if you hear the sound of a lion, run, right? All these things are happening. But all these things, that is why it says Shrotra Adi, the ear and so on. All these things do not operate in isolation. They operate if there is a Chaitanya, consciousness, which is known as Atma Jyotishi, the light of the Ātman. Nitya, that which is eternal, which is everywhere, and which cannot be destroyed. Sati Bhavati. Because of the Ātman, all other entities around you are working. Look at the animals, look at the people, look at so many things happening around us. We are sitting here and focusing on Kena Upaniṣad. There are billions of people doing billions of other things. Like that, the animals, the bacteria, virus, they're all in action. Because of one Ātman. That is the Atma which is making everything work. Tathacha Śrotram Śrotyantarāni Ātmanaivāyam Jyotishaste. This is the Upanishad known as Atma Brahmana, Jyotir Brahmana. It's an amazing piece of information in Brihadaranyaka. So the thing is, there is a string of questions here. So the thing is, with the light of what which people operate, or the light of sun they operate. What if it is night and there is no sun? With the light of the moon and other stars. Well, that's not sufficient. Oh no, the light of Agni, or the Agni, or the fire within our body, the fire we figure out. Then Astamite, Aditya, Astamite, it says when something is not there, when there is no light anywhere, if it is very dark somewhere and there is no fire to light up anything, how do you know yourself? You seem to be sitting in a corner, but you're aware of your body, fingers, how far you are, all these things you're aware. What is making you aware? That is, there is Ātman within. So when everything doesn't help you out, there is Ātman which is powering you. Tasya bhata bhasa sarvavidam vibhati. The other Mundaka Upanishad says that Ātman is one from the shining of which everything else is known. We perceive consciousness, we perceive things around us. All our mind and everything seems to be work because of that Tasya bhasa. There is this entity. Ena sodyas tapati tejasedhaha. In the Taittiriya, Brahmana says that even the sun doesn't work by itself. The sun is burning because of that Ātman. Yada adityagatam tejo jagat bhasayate khilam etchandramasi etchagno tat tejo vidhimamakam. In the Bhagavad Gita. See, Krishna says the light, the luminescence of sun, which lights up the whole universe. Similarly, the light of the moon, and all these things are tattejo vidhi mamakam, that is my light. I provide the light, Krishna says. Everything, everyone else has borrowed my power, my light. That's what the Bhagavad Gita says. Kshetram Kshetri Tata Krishnam Prakashayati Bharata. So the thing is, the knower of the field lights up the field, the whole of it. That is in the 13th chapter. Katake cha Nityo'nityānām chetanaścetanānam. Here Śaṅkarācārya takes it as Nityo'nityānām. Okay? Chetanaha chetanānām. So thing is, Śaṅkarācārya takes it as it is the eternal among non-eternals. And its consciousness among Chetanaścetanānām. Chetanaha chetanānām has to be conscious among conscious. So that's how you have to break it. That is in the Kena Upaniṣad. So there is one entity which is making everything alive. Śrotradyeva sarvasyatma bhutam Śrotradyeva sarvasyatma bhutam chetanamiti prasiddham. So in the whole of the Upanishads and the Vedas, you know that there is this Brahman Ātman, which is very well known, which is making everything work. Tadihani vartyate. Asti kimapi vidvat buddhigamyam sarvantaratamam kutastham acharam ajaram amrutam abhayam shrotraderaphi shrotradi tat samarthya nimittam iti prativachanam shabdhartascha upapadyate eva. He says that, so yes, there is another entity, not just the ear, not just the eye, not just your mind. There is some other entity which is making everything work. That is well known. Vidvat buddhigamyam, that is only known to the intelligent. The unintelligent will think that, oh, this is just nature and this is something else. You don't have to assume any consciousness. So this is the fundamental thing, right? In science, what is the fundamental problem nowadays? The hard problem of consciousness. Other things they can explain. They can explain any kind of stimulus, reaction. All these things can be explained. You can build robots which can pick up stimuli, react to any kind of external entity. But how would you fill the consciousness within the robot? How do you make the robot become like us, where we are conscious? That is, we are conscious. Can you make a robot like that? And it is there, that too you have to make a consciousness which is lighting up everything, which is making every being in this universe work. Can you figure that out? That is beyond science. So it gives the power of the ears to the ears, the power of the eyes to the eyes. So it powers everything. It is simply beyond science. So the way, in a very unique way, the Kena Upaniṣad talks about that Brahman is justified and it's valid. Any questions so far?
Srini here, it should be, I mean, is it Nityo'nityānām or Nityo'nityānām? It should be Nityo'nityānām, right?
Okay. You asked for a lecture and I'm going to give it to you.
No, because even Śaṅkara Bhāṣya for that thing says, Kincha Nityaha Avinashi Nityanam Avinashinam.
Where does it say? Are you looking at Kena Upaniṣad there?
Kena Upaniṣad, Śaṅkara Bhāṣya, yes.
Interesting. Very interesting. See, for some reason, the Ācāryas, okay, just you opened up a bigger can of worms than I thought. Hold on a second. Let me stop share. See, I like research a lot. Okay? Whenever you have questions which I cannot answer, that's what makes me live here. I thought of something else. Here in the Kannada, Kataka Nityo'nityānām, what this Ācārya says is, in among Anityas, Nitya Chetana Nityanagi, Chetanarali, Chetanaragi. He says he is the eternal among non-eternals and eternal and also consciousness among other consciousnesses. So that is how the Ācārya here, Śrotrasya Śrotram is consciousness among consciousnesses. That means Chetanarali, Chetananagi. No. This is the consciousness of the of the ones which have consciousness. Chetana here, the first one is Jivas. He is the Chaitanya in the Chetanas. The Chetanas are Jivas. So he is the consciousness in the Jivas. So the thing is, it says Nitya. He definitely says among the anityas, among the non-eternals, he is the eternal. That is how this Ācārya has taken. Okay, you have brought a good point. Let me check one other source. I will.
This is actually the Śaṅkara Bhāṣya according to that, Advaita Sharada actually. Kincha Nityaha Avinashi Nityanam Avinashinam.
In the Advaita, you are looking at Advaita Sharada?
Yes. Kena Upaniṣad Bhāṣyam actually.
Okay, hold on a second. I will go there.
Actually,
because,
you can just click on that,
that
highlighted thing. The link, it will take you there directly.
No, I know. I have the link here. Just a second.
Okay.
I want to go to the exact. 1 second. I know where it is. I'll get there in a second. Don't worry. Grantaha. Then I'm going to Kena Upaniṣad and I am going to Śaṅkara Bhāṣya.
Panchami
and
Valli.
then
Panchami Valli.
it is how many Prathama Valli?
Panchama Valli.
Oh, Panchama Valli. Dvitiyodhyaya. Hold on a second. Panchama Valli. Okay. Yes.
13th mantra. Yeah.
30th mantra. 13th mantra. Thank you. Now I will share with everybody. Let me share. I think this is one. Can you see me? See this? Nityo'nityānām, Chetanaśchetanaṇām.
Right. That's the one. Yeah.
Everything okay? Yeah. Kincha Nityaha Avinashi Nityanam Avinashinam. So Nityaha Avinashi Kincha Nityaha Nityanam Avinashi. Nityanam means here Avinashinam only, he said, right? Chetanaha Chetananam Chetayitranam Brahmadinam Praninam Chetanaha. Right? So here clearly Nityaha Anityanam is not Nityo'nityānām is taken as Nityo'nityānām only, not Nityo'nityānām here. Right? You are right. Thanks for providing me the information. I wonder, do you know this verse exists in another Upanishad also? Do you know which one?
No, I
see. Nityo'nityānām should be there in another Śrotara or something else, right?
I had to look into that. I haven't.
Yes, but unfortunately, Śaṅkarācārya has not written a thing on. See, this Nityo'nityānām occurs in very, very different. In Gopala-Tāpani Upanishad, it's there, it seems. I don't know, because Nityo'nityānām is quoted from different Upanishad. I'm wondering where it is from. See here, Kena Upaniṣad 2.2.20 is what it is said. That is true. But I thought it is also in Śrotara or something else. Just a second. Yeah, this is okay. Before we go further, let me. okay, we have to do some more homework on this, right? Because many acharyas, Advaita acharyas, are taking it as eternal among non-eternals. That's what they're taking. And you know why? How I came to know? I'll break up into a small story here.
As you know, as you pointed, there's no, see, the avagraham is not that. It's bad. In the oral tradition, the avagraham, is not possible actually.
Yeah, you know what happened? I will tell you a small story which happened long time back. I was about like 26 years old. I was attending Swami Chinmayananda's lecture in Maryland, in College Park. And you probably know Sadananda ji, who was introducing Swami Chinmayananda. And Swami Chinmayananda was there in College Park, Maryland, and I was there at bright early in the morning at 5 a.m. And he walks up and he tells Nityo'nityānām, Śrotrasya and he says with a powerful voice. And I stopped the lecture. Nobody ever stops his lecture, right? I was young at that time. I raised my hands. Young man, what do you have there? Swami said. I said, Nityo'nityānām should be taken as Nityo'nityānām only. And I said that. That is, it is eternal among eternals. There are so many jivas who are eternal. He is the one consciousness, one among many. Eternal jivas. That's what I said. Young man, he said. Swami Chinmayananda said, have you forgotten the avagraha chinha? Do you think that was a dollar sign? Everybody roared into laughter. Ha 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 ha. I became pale. I said, what did I do wrong? I knew all along that Nitya is eternal. Nityo'nityānām should be eternal among eternals only. And this is no way else. In no other way you can understand this verse. At that time, I was shocked and I could not answer, and everybody started laughing at it, pointing fingers at me, and then like some idiot asking stupid questions to a great Swamiji, what kind of person are you, kind of a thing, right? And then actually what happened later on was I started to communicate with Swami Chinmayananda. We argued a lot. Eventually, I stuck to my ground and went to the extent of stating that, prove me Advaita in Bhagavad Gita, I will prove you no Advaita in the Bhagavad Gita, let us have a challenge. So it went to some kind of a big fighting match. And Swami Chinmayananda remembered me, several years later he remembered me, when me and my wife were prostrating in front of him in Chicago, in Rama Temple, I fell at his feet while I was falling at the feet, and my wife rose up from there because I'm still doing my prostration 4 times. We do 4 times. Then Swami Chinmayananda looked up at my wife and said, of all the million nice people in the world, why would you marry this terrible man? Because he remembered 10 years later, 10, 15 years, so many years later, he remembered me. We had a very nice conversation and extremely good relationship. So what, in summary, is, you're right, there is a big problem here. Many acharyas from Advaita take it as Nityo'nityānām. That means eternal among non-eternals. Why is this? Tell me why. Can anybody say why Advaita Acharya seem to prefer something which Srini Gopalan Swami did mention? He mentions Nitya, eternal among eternals. I also had the same view. But now here, many of these Advaitis believe that it is eternal among non-eternals. In fact, not even checking the Śaṅkara Bhāṣya here. That is even funny. I had not checked the Śaṅkara Bhāṣya here. Honestly, Srini Swami, thanks for giving me this information. But I'm going to take this up in the next class because I want to do research before I answer. But you answer why the Advaitins take the meaning here as Nityo'nityānām. eternal one among non-eternals. Why Advaitins prefer this?
Because all the jivas are non-eternal, actually. According to Advaita, all the jivas are non-eternal, actually. Only Ātman is eternal, really. That is Paramatman.
Is there anything for Advaita? Okay, for Advaita, is there anything other than Ātman which is eternal?
That's what I'm saying. The Ātma is the only thing that's eternal.
Is Jagat eternal according to Advaita?
No, it's not.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you very well. I apologize.
Oh, what is wrong? See, is Jagat or universe eternal according to Advaita?
It's not eternal, actually. No. Jagat is not eternal. Only Ātman is eternal.
See, actually, in Advaita, there is nothing other than Ātman.
Yes. That's right. Yeah.
Ātman only is the real thing. And that is always Trikala Abhadita. That is, it is never be destroyed in future, past, or present. It can never be sublated. So this Maya is sublatable. Maya goes away. And all these things, Jiva, Jada, all these things, Jiva, Ishvara, Jada, all these are inside the Maya realm. They are non-eternal. So it is easier for Advaitins to accept Nityo'nityānām as real among eternal among non-eternals. It's better for Advaitins to pick up that way.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, actually. That's why Advaitins say it's Nityo'nityānām, because it's eternal. Ātman is the only eternal thing among all the other,
See, what I will do is I will check a little. I'll do a little bit more research and then give you, thanks for getting this information. I'm almost certain Śrotrasya Upanishad has the same Nityo'nityānām verse. I was wondering if Nityo'nityānām verse is in some other Upanishad which I have not seen. So if there is a Śaṅkara Bhāṣya there, I will validate. And I'm totally surprised how Sachidanandendra Swami, who promises that I want to be true to Śaṅkara, takes up this meaning. I'm so surprised. Maybe it is a mistake he messed up somewhere. Just an error. Good point, actually. Any other questions so far?
What is the meaning of, how do we take up the meaning of Dhiraha? Should we directly take it as Brahman himself or Jiva?
Dhiraha. You mean Dhiraha?
Yes, Dhiraha. Atimuchya Dhiraha.
See, Atimuchya Dhiraha, one second. Where is Śaṅkara? Dhiraha is taken as Dhimantaha. That is those who have intelligence. Dhiraha pretya asmat lokat sharirat pretya vyujya. I'll show you. I will show you the Śaṅkara Bhāṣya here just in case. He himself says, I'm only saying according to Śaṅkara Bhāṣya. It's not about me knowing some other meaning and telling you. Here.
Could also mean the realized, really, right?
Yeah, Dhiraha, Dhimanta, intelligent is realized only here. Because pretya asmal lokat vyujya anyasmin naprati sandhiyamane nirnimittatvad amrta bhavanti. So thing is, they become eternal. They amrita bhavanti, immortal. Satihi ajnane karmani sharirantaram pratisandhatate. So thing is, because if there are karmas, again new karmas will come after the death of one body. Atmavabodhetu sarva karma arambha nimitta ajnana viparita avidyagni viplutshtatvat karmanam iti anarambe amrita eva bhavanti. Because there is no more new karmas. Atmavabodhe means realization of Atma is there. Sarva karmarambhaka nimitta, all the purva karmas and punyas which will start new karmas are all dead, are all burnt up. Viparita vidyagni viplushtatvat, they are burnt by the fire of knowledge. So, because no other karmas can start something new, it has to be amrita bhavanti, they are eternal. They will become realized and they will become one with the self, according to Śaṅkarācārya. Okay? Can we stop here now then? We'll take up next week.
Can I ask a question?
Please go ahead.
In the beginning, you said about this Chief Prāṇa, Pratham Prāṇa. What is that? In the beginning, you started with the Chief Prāṇa.
I didn't.
In the beginning, you started with Chief Prāṇa, Pratham Prāṇa.
Chief Prāṇa.
In Prāṇa?
Yeah, Chief Prāṇa. What is the Chief Prāṇa?
See, Prathamam Praiti, Kena Prāṇa Prathamam Praiti Yuktaha. Prathama is one, number one, that is highest or the first, right? There, Prathamam, Prāṇa Prathamam means, see, there are 5 pranas, right? Prāṇa, Apana, Samana, Udana, Vyana. There are 5 pranas. The first among those prana is prana itself.
Okay.
So the prana is the highest.
Okay.
And prana is also the highest. Even if you don't break it into 5, suppose you say prana as prana. In the other Upanishad known as Prashna Upanishad, there is a competition among the different senses. That is the Indriyas, eyes, ears, and tongue, and all this, they start competing that who is important, who is important. For that, what happens is the prana says, you may just, all you people like this, the other Indriyas like eyes, ears and all think that you are great. Of course you are great. Without eyes, people will become blind. Without hearing, people can't operate properly in this world. Deaf people. But you know one thing, I am definitely the best. I am the chief. Then they did not agree. Then Prana said, stop, I don't want to discuss this with you, I'm leaving. So Prana leaves. When the Prana leaves, the whole body dies. Then all the Indriyas also have to leave with the Prana. They're forced to leave. Then the Indriyas will come back and say, no, now we know Prana is most important. If Prana leaves, all of us have to follow. So we are less powerful than you. So Prana is the chief. That is what is intended in the Kena Upaniṣad. That is, if so, who is the impeller, propeller, who is the guider of this prana? So the Upanishad is taking, see, in the Prashna Upanishad, prana becomes important. Then who is behind prana? Is there somebody behind prana? That question is taken up here in the Kena Upaniṣad. Okay?
Yes.
All right? Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Parama Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Sarva Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Parabrahmane Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Hayavadana Parabrahmane Namaha, Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.
Namaskaram. Thank you.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.
Dhanyasmi Swami.